How's it going, everyone? It is Monday the 6th of March, picking straight back up from where we left off in the last video. So if you might remember, in the last video I'd welded the top onto the frame and I'd had a little bit of heat warping. So first things first, I'm going to grind back those welds, make it look nice and tidy, and then I'm going to try and figure out how I'm going to bend it back to shape. So I got the handle for one of my jacks in here. I got this as a center piece to sort of brace and bend it against it. I got the other end in the vise. So hopefully I can bend this back. A little bit of heat warp, not a big deal. And as you can see, that is nice and straight. I've already cut this to size. Now this is the same square tube, this is an offcut. Originally my plan was to bolt it into the tow hooks. However, I came up with a much better idea, so bear with me here. What I plan on doing is welding it to the tow hooks. I'm giving myself a nice straight bar across where I can put like 6 bolts through. That's gonna give me a super strong connection to the core of the vehicle. Anyway, so my next point of order is to pull this out and just clean up some of that metal and try and tack it in there. Alright, that's the next stage complete. That is welded in there. I've already tack welded that. Good enough for now. Next stage, I'll be coming in and making some angle cuts. The other thing I've got to do at the rear is box it up. So you can see exactly why I've cut that out. And exactly why I want to cover my oil pan and my exhaust in the first place. What is up, my dudes? It is Wednesday, and that means I skipped a day. Why did I skip a day? Because yesterday I was busy as fuck. So today, to make up for lost time, off camera, I've gone and marked this first angle cut on my square tube. So I am going to finish my coffee and then fire this thing up and get that cut. So I actually matched these two angles here, because this is the angle that I want to cut. Let's have a look. Alright, so I brought my cutoff wheel down to the floor. I've already gone and marked where I need to cut. There's an outside edge here. Alright, I've got this piece ready, so I'm going to weld it in. First angle, here we go! So I was reviewing my footage of tacking that last piece in, and the more I looked at it, the more I came out here and looked at it again. I'm just not happy with that idea. I don't think it's going to be super strong like I want. So I've got a solution, and all I need is one cut to this piece, and I think I can go back to my original plan. Alright, so I've got the other side done. Now I'm just going to weld this one in quickly, finish up for the day, come back at it tomorrow. Alright. That's good enough for now. I can cut that out, cut the rest of this off tomorrow when I come back to it. Alrighty, so that front piece there is what's going to come out now, because I can go back to mounting off this bar. What I then have to do is cut a nice angle in line with this angled piece, both there and there. Much stronger than this original front piece was going to be, and with a way better approach angle. Alrighty, so it's Thursday now. I've got this to cut down to size to put in between here, and then I've also got to chop this off Once this is welded in, I'll go have a look at the back, see if I need to cut that and weld that first. If not, pull it all out of the vehicle, weld everything up. I have earmuffs, I don't know why I don't use them. That right there is looking much more like a solid frame. I just skipped filming a bunch while I figured some stuff out, so let's talk through it. So I have removed the frame from the vehicle. I had this tacked in there like that initially, basically just to hold it all together while I took it out so none of the welds broke. Then I went through and I welded it all up. Look at that beauty. And I even went through and basically strapped the back with a piece of 3mm, just bashing it around with a hammer, holding it in place using my snap lock pliers. So we're gonna go from the back here, cover that, cap it, come up here, cap that, and basically just give an extra bit of strength to this whole structure here, because while I've welded it really strong, I just want the extra bracing. Yo! It's Saturday. I skipped doing anything on Friday because I was super busy. Time to test out the new battery. With that done now, time to fire up the welder. That's lined up pretty good. So now, next move, pretty simple. Just hold the band. Alright, so this is where I'll bring in the next set of clamping pliers, so I can basically start folding this in. Now, this is the important step where I actually tack weld it, so I can start removing these and clamping it in the other important spots. It's also quite well centered now, and I've got this pretty well flush, so it's the perfect opportunity. Alright, that's all hammered tight, so now I can just weld all of this up. I'm just going to quickly grind it back first. So I don't need to like fully seam weld these or anything, I'm just going to do a couple of like long passes in some sections. Alright, so they're all welded up and I'm nice and sweaty. What's it taking? We're at 9:40, I got to be out of here at about 2:30. So we're making good progress. I'm just going to grind these back now. I am a sweaty boy. So, I'm going to cut this about there, and I'm going to weld it to this after I tidy this up, and then I'm going to cut off the excess and weld it in between these. Let's go! A few people have probably noticed this isn't 100% level even after I bent this back, so essentially what I'm going to do is when I weld this in, does that even make sense? No. Alright, final thing I'm doing is there's a little bit of inconsistency from side to side here. On the bottom, I've got this 5mm flat bar because there's just, yeah, big gap, fuck it, just bear with me. Alright, I've got that about as welded as I want. Everything's nicely braced, super strong. That's ready to go back in the vehicle now so I can weld up the tow hooks. So I've got it partially mounted. I've basically just got to cut this 5mm to keep it nice and wide at the sides there, then pull it back out, widen a couple of bolt holes to make it easier to actually bolt up because it's hard to get them to line up currently. Alright, so I've got the flat bar clamped in place and I just got to come in and weld it in now so that every time I take this out it's not going to like deform and anything like that. It's going to be nice, straight, solid. Alright, last step, cut these off, weld up these little gaps that I've still got. So as you can see, I've now got the frame mounted just off those back brackets. It's nice and strong. Once I get the tow hook mounting sorted, that's going to be plenty strong. So this is roughly where it's going to sit with the tow hook. What I'm thinking, still have section there to close up, section there to close up, and that will make sure this is all sort of able to fold over evenly. This isn't actually going to be contacting the bash plate. This is the structure to actually bring this up, so that doesn't have to be equal. The biggest thing is that this, and the back all line up, which they do. Super strong frame. And coming to the back of the vehicle, you can see with that piece strapped up there, that's looking all boxed up. So moving forward to that front join of the catalytic converter to the exhaust, that's where the next strap is going to be. The good thing about having this strap in is where last I bolted it up, it was really hard to get the holes to align. Now they're lining up perfectly, so as long as I put 2 jack stands at the front to hold the front end up, I can get those in about 60 seconds flat, which is really good. So now I've got the other side of this and some flat bar to weld between these, gusset up these brackets, and then I can start cutting the plate, which is just awesome. We are so close. Again, I can finish this up today, but it's so humid. I'm done. I'm destroyed. I'm ruined, and I've got a concert tonight. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next Sunday.